Good evening. This is BelGeode, and we are back with some more Digital Combat Simulator DCS and the F-5E Tiger II, sometimes known as the MiG-28. Yeah, I can't help but laugh every time I say that. Alright, well, I gave you just a cursory glance at the Tiger II the other day. I had to cut it short because I needed to go out and, do the socialization type thing. Every now and then I gotta remind myself that I'm actually a human. So, now that we've got a little bit extra time here, it's time to get down to some real training. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go through the cold and dark startup procedure. Depending on how long it takes, I might do a couple of circuits around the airport and then bring her in for a landing. Or if the video is getting a little bit too long, I'll just do the cold and dark startup, and then the next video that I do will actually be flying around and testing out some of the other things like the weapons and so on and so forth. But if I'm going to learn how to fly this thing, and if I'm going to be a good aggressor pilot, I'm going to need to take it from the beginning. So let's hop into training. And we want cold start, taxi, and takeoff. Now, before I actually get into the cockpit here, I do need to make sure that you all can see my mouse. So, let's go ahead and launch the start here, or the lesson I should say. And while I'm waiting for the music to pop up, I am going to pop open DX Story and see if I can include mouse cursor. Hopefully that will work. We'll find out in a second. Of course, it takes forever to load up, so yeah, maybe I might cut this. We'll see. Okay, so we are in the jet. Now, there's no voiceover for this particular cold and dark startup tutorial, so you'll be getting voiceover from me. Hope you like it. Whoa! I love how it just slams me down on the deck there. That's always lovely. Alright, looks like it's morning time, and if I had to guess, I would say we are in Sanaki. Oh, good. And we got a guy here staring at me. Why are you staring at me, dude? Alright, it says, "Good morning, pilot. Today we'll learn the procedures to cold start, taxi, and takeoff in the F-5E. Before beginning this lesson, please be familiar with the commands enlisted below." Yeah, we know all of those commands already, so I'm not even going to go through reading all of that. Press spacebar when you're ready to begin. Oh, I'm ready, alright. I'm just trying to figure out why this guy is staring at me. Dude, what, you think I'm going to, steal a plane or something? Or is it because I'm in MiG-28 colors? I don't know what the hell is his problem. Alright, got a fuel truck there. I hear some jets. There's some kind of activity going on here. Alright. Well, I think we're about ready to go ahead and get this thing started. Now, I have done this a couple of times before, and one of the things that I noticed is I think there are some things missing in this. Most notably, there's no wheel chocks on this aircraft. So if we're starting up and, I just happen to have the throttle anywhere but idle, that could be a problem. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get this open. Ground crew, wheel chocks. Chief, place the wheel chocks, please.
Chief, place the wheel chocks. Copy.
All right.
Wheel chocks are now in place.
Very good. Very, very good. Okay, so as you can see, this is one sweet looking bird. Look at that. Except the gas truck is in the way there. She looks aggressive even on the ground. Absolutely amazing. Love this thing. Love this thing. Alright, let's get back in the office here and we'll get to work because time is money. Okay, press space when you're ready to begin. I'm ready to begin. Attention! If you have a gaming device that controls the aircraft's throttle, set it to idle position. Done. The ignition system can operate from both an external ground supply and the onboard battery. Set the battery switch to the upper bat position by using the mouse button or by pressing the right control, right shift B, that's in Bravo, keys. Okay, so here's our battery switch and it's on. Alternating current, AC current, is provided by two generators attached to the left and right engines, one generator per engine. Each generator is enabled when the engine RPM reaches 48% and stops generating when RPM is reduced to less than 43%. On the right vertical panel, there are two three-position switches marked left gen and right gen, with a reset position needed for connecting generators to the power network manually by the pilot, which means nothing to me. Below, on the emergency signal panel, are two warning lights, L generator and R generator. These lights when the corresponding generator is disconnected from the power network. Okay, yeah, I totally just messed that up. Alright, set the generator switches to their upper left gen, right gen positions using the right mouse button or by pressing right control, right shift H and right control, right shift J. We're going to use the mouse. Clicky clicky. That's a right click, by the way. And there we go. Next. The fuel system of each engine has its own power booster pump. Ugh, I can't talk anymore. I don't even know why I'm doing voiceover for this. Which automatically provides fuel to the fuel system, including the afterburner pumps. Set the booster pump switches to the upper left and right settings using the mouse or by pressing right control, right shift Y and right control, right shift I keys. So this is one here and this is the other here. Okay, our booster pumps are now on. An engine can only be started with compressed air provided by an external ground start unit. Compressed air spins up the engine compressors, which in its turn provides air supply to the combustion chamber, creating a fuel-air mixture. Connect the compressed air unit, basically using the radio menu, so the ground crew menu. Alright, let's see if we can get this connected here. So F8 for ground crew, F5 for ground air supply, and F1 to connect. Please connect the ground control.
Copy.
Alright, well, that was easy. Press space. Okay, always start the left engine first and then the right one. The right engine can be started with the help of compressed air from the ground unit or from the left engine compressor. Give the command to the ground crew to spin up the engine rotor. Okay, so here we go, back into that same menu. F8, F5, and we want to apply power, so F3.
Copy.
Alright, and I'm going to change my view here real quick. Okay, once RPM reaches 10, press the start button for the left engine located on the left vertical panel, or by using the mouse or pressing left control, left shift C. Then set the left engine throttle to the idle position by pressing right shift home. So here's our start button. We're going to go ahead and click that, push to start, and then left throttle to idle. So there we go. We've got that spinning up. While that's spinning up, I'm going to watch the gauges here. When the throttle is set to the idle position, fuel is supplied to the engine and will reach idle RPM within 35 seconds. As a result, idle RPM 49 to 52%. Exhaust gas temperature no less than 140 degrees Celsius. Temperature can for a short time reach higher values but should never exceed 845. Nozzle position 60 to 70% from full open. It's right above 70, so it's good. Fuel consumption around 400 pounds per second. Yep, looks like it's there. You can see that right there. Next. Oil pressure between 5 and 20 psi. It's right above 20, but it looks like it's coming back down, so we're good to go there. Alright, after the left engine has been started, you must check the pressure in the utility hydraulic system between 2800 and 3200. Yep, it's right at the 3200 mark, so we're good. And auxiliary intake doors position indicates a zebra. Okay, I see what they mean. Let's see. Using the F2 view, you can see the position of the intake doors using the external camera. Alright, let's take a look at that. They are talking about this animal right here. That's the intake doors. There is one on the other side. As you can see, it is closed. It will open momentarily. Alright, back into the cockpit we go. I just noticed my air brakes are out. I'm assuming that I will have to put that up as part of this procedure, but spacebar. Okay, to start the right engine procedure with the help of the external compressed air, it's similar to starting the left engine. The ground crew will automatically switch compressed air from the left engine to the right engine once the left engine reaches idle, which it is there right now. So we need to talk to the ground crew again and see if we can get them to do their thing. F8, F5, apply, F3.
Copy.
Okay, so we're watching this, waiting till it reaches 10. And it is right about there, so we'll go ahead and push to start. And we'll get the throttle to idle for the right engine. There we go. So far, we're looking good. Okay, right engine is now reaching idle RPM. Monitor the engine-related gauges. 49 to 52% on the idle RPM. EGT, no less than 140, no more than 845. Nozzle should be 60 to 70%. Fuel flow, 400 pounds per hour. Oil pressure between 5 and 20. Yes, oil pressure is coming down. This is good. Pressure in the booster hydraulic system, 2800 to 3200. Yep, it is there. Auxiliary intake doors indicate open. The intakes of both doors are currently opened. After a check of the engine gauges, press space. So, it looks like we're just waiting for the oil pressure right now, which is all the way over here. As soon as those superimpose on each other, we should be good to go. Now, fuel quantity, notice that it's dragging from one tank as opposed to another. There's a way that we're going to be able to fix that, but I'll get into that in a bit. Because obviously we don't want an uneven fuel flow here. Alright, things are looking good. I'm pressing space. Once both engines are started, you must ask the ground crew to disconnect the air compressor unit. I think we can handle that. Yo, Chief, we're done with that. Can you disconnect it, please? F2, by the way, to disconnect.
Copy.
Okay, good deal. Press space. You must now check the operability of the weapon control system radar. On the left console is the radar panel. Set the mode switch to standby position by right mouse button clicking or by pressing the O or 0 key. I don't know if that's an O or a 0, but there is our knob. And we're going to right click it once to standby. On the radar display on the instrument panel, wait 30 seconds for the horizon line to be displayed. The radar will then switch to warm-up mode. Warning, due to possible overheating, the radar can operate on the ground for no more than 10 minutes. If necessary to stay on the ground longer, set the radar mode switch to the off position and return it to standby shortly before takeoff. To set the mode switch back to the off position, use the left mouse button or press the 9 key. So I guess that was a 0 before, not an O. Okay, so we've got our horizon line on there. This is good. It's going to take us a little while before we get ready for takeoff, so I am going to turn that back off. Alright, next. On the lower side of the fuselage, in front of the main landing gear compartment, are two hydraulically operated air brakes that can be deflected down to 45 degrees. The air brakes are controlled by the 3-position thumb switch, retracted, neutral, and extended on the right engine throttle. Set the air brake switch to the retracted position by right mouse clicking the switch or by pressing the left control B, as in Bravo, keys. I have that set to my Cytec X52, so what we're going to do is we're going to go outside and I'm going to close it. There we go. Next, the F-5E has an automatic wing control system. The wing control system includes the deflection of the leading edge slats and trailing edge flaps, which are used for safe takeoff, maneuvering, long-distance flights, and safe landing. This is controlled by the flaps lever located behind the throttles and the thumb switch on the right engine throttle. The control lever can be set to the following positions: emergency up, which is full retraction independent of the thumb switch position. Thumb switch, mechanization is controlled by the thumb switch. Seems pretty logical to me. Full extension, independent of the thumb switch position. The thumb switch has the following modes: up, full mechanized retraction, used for maximum distance flight with all types of payload. Fixed mechanization position, provides minimum fuel consumption and improves lifting capabilities of the wing, prevents shear effects on the wing at lower speed, and are used for maximum distance flight with external stores. Auto, automatic mechanization control, depending on the angle of attack or the control signal from the onboard computer. Leave the control mechanism lever behind the throttles in the thumb switch position. Set the thumb switch on the right engine throttle to the auto position by pressing it twice with the left mouse button or by pressing the F key. We're going to opt for the F key. So there we go. We are set. Next. On the wing control mechanism indicator in the left portion of the instrument panel, the full mode is displayed. This is because the wing controls are in auto mode and the aircraft is stationary. After takeoff and landing gear retraction, the control mode will change itself to auto. The stability augmentation system makes the aircraft easier to fly by controlling the stabilizer and rudder. It automatically dampens the pitch and yaw oscillations and provides manual rudder trimming. The SAS control panel on the left console includes switches for the pitch and yaw controls and a knob for rudder trimming. The pitch damper disable lever, A, is located on the stick. The onboard computer and controlling dampener switch channels provide comfortable flight at all speeds. Enable the pitch and yaw dampeners by setting corresponding switches to the yaw and pitch using left alt, left control E, left alt, left control W positions. Alright, let's go ahead and turn those on. And they're on. Next. It is now time to set the pitch trimmer for takeoff. Depending on the aircraft configuration, presence of pylon stores, missiles on launchers, and gun ammunition. If the trimmer is not set to the takeoff position, a strong negative pitching moment will occur at takeoff. This can result in a crash, especially if the aircraft has a significant takeoff weight. Optimal positions of the pitch trimmer pointer for various takeoff configurations. No ammo for guns, no stores. You get position 6. Drop tanks, ammunition, missiles, position 7. Drop tanks, ammunition, missiles, bombs, rockets, position 8. Ammo, missiles, bombs, rockets, containers, position 9. Because of its location at the very left top of the instrument panel under the hood, it is difficult to see the trimmer pointer. To simplify, you can enable the controls indication by clicking right control, enter. The pitch line indicates the position of the trimmer and comparing it with the label corresponding to a full trimmer deflection or 10 positions. Set the trimmer for a value of 6 by pressing right control period and right control semicolon keys. That's my default trimmer setting on the joystick. So I'm going to go ahead and pitch up, and you are watching the lower left corner, the little diamond, as it gets to the proper position to where we can stop trimming. Okay, there we go. We are in the proper position. This aircraft is now trimmed. Next, it says check to make sure the airfield pressure is correctly set on the altimeter. Set 0 altitude on the altimeter using the pressure knob by pressing the left alt, left shift A and left alt, left shift S keys, or using the mouse wheel. I am going to opt to use the mouse wheel since it's pretty handy. So let's go ahead and fix that real quick here. Okay, done deal. All that's left is to set up the artificial horizons. Enable the backup gauge by rotating the pull to cage knob clockwise until it sets into its recessed position by rotating the mouse wheel or by pressing left alt, left shift V keys. Set a pitch value of -3 on the backup artificial horizon by rotating the pull to cage knob with the mouse wheel or by pressing left alt, left shift X and left alt, left shift V keys. In the briefing figures, left alt B, you can find out how to correctly set up the gauge. Okay, so we want -3, that's right there. Now we need to do the same thing with the primary artificial horizon by rotating the horizon knob using the mouse wheel or pressing left alt, left shift E and left alt, left shift D keys. So here we go, we'll set that up. We want to go this way. There we go. Everything is now ready for taxi. To start rolling, increase RPM to 85% using the number plus and the number minus keys. Now before we do that, remember we put the wheel chocks on, so we're probably going to want to take care of that.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks. Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
And while I'm thinking about it, we should probably start turning on some lights. I don't know why that's not a part of this checklist, but we're going to go ahead and rectify that. Okay, so our beacon is on. We'll go ahead and turn on the nav lights as well while we're at it. I'm going to put on a formation light. Even though it's daytime, I really don't need the formation lights, but I kind of like having them on. Why not? Why not? Alright, I'm also going to put on these console lights because I kind of like being able to see my instruments. We'll turn on the instrument lights, flight instrument lights, engine instrument lights. Everything is looking good. And then the only other thing I'm going to want to flick on here are going to be our taxi and landing lights. Alright, now before I start taxiing, I do need to inform you, this thing is a pain in the butt to taxi. It does have nose wheel steering, but in order to use it, you have to make sure that the S button is pushed down. So what I did was I set it up on my pinky switch / trigger. As long as I'm holding that down, I've got nose wheel steering. As soon as I let it go, I'm just going straight. Alright, so I don't need it just yet, but I am going to pull the throttle up just a touch. And our escort vehicle says, "Good day, 56. Start rolling and follow me." Okay, well, you want to get out my way there, buddy? Don't need the radio. Alright, so here we go. And I know my canopy is still open. We'll deal with that in a moment. Okay, maintain taxi speed by adjusting the engine RPM and using the main wheel brakes. W, typical value for RPM is 60%. Alright, I'm going to come off of the nose wheel steering here and leave the throttle in idle because I don't want to overrun this dude. That would be bad. Alright, we need to trim a little to the left there. There we go. This is actually a first. This is the first time I've actually had an escort vehicle taking me to the runway. But that's pretty cool. I like that. That's a good touch. Alright, so we should be there sometime before Christmas. Dude, are you driving or what? Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Come on, Grandma. Put it in gear. Holy hell in a handbasket. Do they really taxi this slow? My God. Alright, well, I see the threshold, so we're looking good. Dude, if you don't move up, you're gonna have some surprise, you know what. I'm just saying. Alright, here we are, here we are. And I'm starting to veer a little to the right, so we'll go ahead and put the nose wheel steering on and we'll adjust for that. Brakes! We are now at the hold short, right in front of the runway threshold. At this location, you must stop and make sure that no aircraft are landing or taking off, and you must receive permission to take the runway. We haven't even done anything with the radio, and I have no idea if this thing is set for like the auto radio settings that DCS has. So I'm going to forego all of that, and I'm going to trust that my little guy here is in touch with the tower and will tell me if I have clearance. In the meantime, I don't see anything coming or going. Okay, permission received. You can take the runway. Very nice. That's what I was waiting for. Now you can get out of my way. And there he goes. Oh, he's taking the runway too. I didn't know he was taking off. Okay, well, we'll deal with that. Alright, so I have nose wheel steering engaged. And a little bit of throttle here. Take it to about here and then hang a left. Roll straight ahead, line up along the runway axis and stop. Yes, I know how this works, son. I know how this works. I'm going to put it right on the center line. That'll be a first for me. Right on the center line. After taking the runway, roll forward several yards to align the nose wheel with the takeoff direction. Yes, got that. Got that. Alright, we'll turn off the nose wheel steering. And we should be good to go right here. Unless he wants me like right up on his butt. Okay, permission received. You can take the runway. I thought I did. Okay, well, you do your thing there, buddy. And there he goes. Alright, now, the nose strut of the F-5E has two settings. By controlling the nose strut switch located above the left console, you can change the height of the strut, thus changing longitudinal pitch of the aircraft by 3 degrees. Are you starting to see why we set this thing for -3? This reduces takeoff roll. During retraction, this strut shortens automatically. Set the nose strut switch to extend position by clicking on it or by pressing left alt, left control, Q keys. Okay, so that's this little guy right over here. So we're going to go ahead and zoom out so that way I have a nice view of everything. We'll go ahead and do that. Holy hell, I got hydraulics. Woohoo! All of a sudden I'm in the hood. Feel like singing Lowrider. It is now less than 10 minutes prior to takeoff, so we must start warming up the radar. Set the mode switch on the radar control panel again, located on the left console, to the standby position using a right mouse button click or by pressing the 0 key. Alright, well, we remember where that is. That's over here, so one click should do the trick. On the HSI, located in the center of the instrument panel, use the course knob to set the course pointer to 88 degrees. Do this with either the mouse wheel or by pressing the left shift 4 and left alt left shift 3 keys. The set course is displayed in the course window. Okay, so we want 88. We want to go this way is what we want to do. And I'm just using a mouse wheel for this because why have a mouse wheel if you don't use it? I'm hearing a helo. That does not sound good. Is he gonna like slam into me here? Okay, there we go. Where is that helo? Oh, there he is. Oh wait, is that a gazelle? I can't tell if that's a gazelle or if that's a Huey. Alright, check for the absence of pitch value on the main and backup artificial horizons. Yes, they are both saying 0. Activate the pitot heating by setting anti-ice system switch to pitot using right control, right shift F. That is you. Okay. Close the canopy using the canopy lever to the right side of the cockpit or by pressing left control C. I do have it bound to my joystick, but I'm going to go ahead and press it anyway. There we go. Canopy lamp should be out. In front of you on the instrument panel is a master caution panel light, which lights when any warning or emergency signal triggers. This attracts your attention to monitor the corresponding panels. After being pressed, master caution light goes off and switches to a waiting mode, ignoring the signal that caused the initial triggering of this light. It will illuminate again if a new event occurs on a signal panel. So let's go ahead and press caution to continue. Alright. Keep the main wheel brakes pressed by pressing W. Increase the engine RPM to 95%. Essentially, you know what they're saying there. They are saying brakes down, throttles up. I think I can handle that. Oh, this sun is in my eye, though. Alright, we're going to set it right here. Okay, so you heard the man. Brake down, throttles up. Bringing it up to 95%. It is there now. Alright, and brakes off. Now reading that and also flying is going to be interesting, so yeah. Make sure the aircraft accelerates in a straight line. Yeah, that's easy for you to say. This sucker wants to go all over the place. All over the place. Holy crap. Alright, we're trying to get to 140 knots for takeoff. We're right there. I am not in afterburner, but that's okay. I'm going to work with this. We're up. We're up. Retract the gear. Gear's coming up. That was not my best takeoff. Alright, I do believe that we have landing gear up. Very nice. Adjust the pitch trimmer to remove the pitch forces from the stick. Okay, so right control semicolon or right control period. Let's go ahead and do right control. Well, actually, no, we're just going to use the trimmer on my joystick here. Alright, there we go. When the aircraft is fully fueled, the right engine tank contains 580 pounds more fuel than the left one. This causes imbalance and the aircraft flight dynamics change during the flight. When all the fuel from the drop tanks have been used, if the airplane had them, the fuel is being fed from the right engine fuel system. You must enable auto balancing. Your aircraft is not equipped with drop fuel tanks, so set the auto balance switch into the position that corresponds to the fuel tank with the least amount of fuel using the left mouse button or by pressing right control, right shift, open bracket keys. We are going to use the switch. So there we go, it goes to the left tank. When the fuel difference between the left and the right tanks is within 50 to 125 pounds, the auto balance switch will set itself automatically to the center position. There we go. How nice. Alright. And I think that's basically everything for this checklist. I do need to trim though, so let me go ahead and do that real quick. You took off. Well done. Alright. So there we go. Our aggressor bird is in the sky. MiG-28 is flying, baby. Flying! And considering the fact that it took us about half an hour to do all of that, I would say this would be a great place to stop right now. And the next time that you see me, I will pick it up where we left off and we'll practice some more stuff. But there you go. Here's a full cold and dark startup tutorial, and I hope it was helpful to you. If it was, feel free to go ahead and give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I'm going to go ahead and do a circuit here and bring this bird back down. So thank you as always for watching. This is BelGeode. I've been flying the F-5E Tiger II, sometimes known as the MiG-28, in DCS world. I will talk with you all later. Enjoy. Ciao.